Hello, and welcome back to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news show. I'm your host, Parker Carlson. Okay, it's gonna be one of those days, huh? All right, for realsies this time, okay, let's pump it up, Abby. Hello, and welcome back to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news show. I'm your host, Parker Carlson.
Abby.
Is that all you've got?
Yep.
You have the emotional range of Bella Swan right now. Well, you know what? I'm actually more of a team Jacob than Edward, you know. Wow, okay, really pulling out all the stops for this episode.
I don't care.
But I care, okay? I care about Matthew Simmons and his segment on Robert Pattinson in the new Batman movie. Matthew?
Over the summer, it was announced that Robert Pattinson would be the next actor to put on the iconic cape and cowl to become the next Batman. Speculation had been building as to which young actor would take over the role in Matt Reeves' reboot, which has been confirmed to take place during Bruce Wayne's early days as the Caped Crusader, and Pattinson's name was by far the best choice. While some might have trouble looking past his Twilight years, he has steadily been showing his range in films like Good Time and The Lost City of Zed, and has slowly become one of the most versatile actors working today. I have no doubt that Pattinson is going to kill it, but after a few quiet months with no Batman news, we've been blessed with not one, but two awesome casting news. First, The Hollywood Reporter dropped the news that Westworld's Jeffrey Wright has been casted to play Commissioner Gordon, a role previously played by J.K. Simmons and more notably Gary Oldman in other films. And then minutes after that was reported, Deadline Hollywood revealed that Jonah Hill is in negotiations to play a villain in the film. Yeah, both of these castings are pretty incredible. Jeffrey Wright has been working in Hollywood for many years and has starred in big projects like The Hunger Games and the James Bond films. He's been a standout actor in the last few years thanks to his fantastic turn in Westworld, and I think he's a perfect fit for Commissioner Gordon. On the other hand, Jonah Hill is a name I would have never guessed for this film, but it's not very surprising. Like Wright, Hill has also been putting out consistently good work over the past few years, which have earned him a few Oscar noms under his belt. Now, the Deadline report did not specify which villain he would be in the film, saying that Warner Brothers and Hill are still deciding on the overall deal, but I already saw tons of guesses on Twitter from the Penguin to the Riddler and even Mad Hatter. Personally, I think he'd make a great Riddler, so it'd be really fun to see which role he ends up getting. So far, the casting for this film has turned out phenomenal and unexpected. It's been rumored that the Batman will feature a multitude of iconic villains from the Rogues Gallery, so I'm very excited to be hearing more casting news from this project. I'm not Batman, and thanks for listening.
Thank, Matt.
Not gonna say the whole thing?
Why use long word when short word do trick?
You're really running with the bit, huh?
Not bit, necessity.
Necessity? You're gonna have to explain.
Everything hurt.
Maybe Nate can have a run-in and make things better. Nate?
I know a lot of you may know this already, but I'm a lifelong runner. It runs in the family, pun unintended. It's basically one of my biggest passions besides movies, which is why whenever a movie about running comes out, I feel like I'm obligated to go out and see it. Though there really isn't that many movies that are about running. There's Chariots of Fire, McFarland USA, those two movies about Steve Prefontaine, that one Jesse Owens movie, and I guess Unbroken kind of counts. So you could say I was more than a little curious when I first heard of the Sundance darling, Brittany Runs a Marathon. The film, which is directed by first-time director Paul Downs Calazo and stars Jillian Bell as Brittany, a hard-partying, unemployed, binge-drinking 28-year-old New Yorker. After a failed attempt to be prescribed Adderall by the doctor, she is told to get healthy. When the gym proves too expensive, Brittany decides to take up running and soon decides that she wants to train and run the New York City Marathon. I'll just get it out of the way. I really like this movie. Jillian Bell is the best she's ever been in the role of Brittany. Before this, she'd only been in straightforward comedies like 22 Jump Street, Rough Night, and Workaholics. Though in this film, she's really able to flex some dramatic chops as well. Ukas Ambarkar shines here as well as Jern, Brittany's love interest in the film. He delivers some of the film's best one-liners and brings a lot of charisma to the role as well. The rest of the supporting cast is strong, with Michelle Watkins and Lil Howery are also really good here as Brittany's neighbor and her brother-in-law / father figure. Brittany Runs a Marathon tackles topics such as body shaming, weight loss, and mental health in a way that I have seen done very rarely. The film isn't promoting some kind of thin is beautiful narrative. Instead, it's tackling personal insecurities, which Brittany finds through running. The film is also incredibly inspirational, and I won't lie, the ending very nearly brought a tear to my eye. The film isn't perfect. There's plenty of jokes that fall flat and feel a bit forced and awkward, and the film as a whole does feel pretty familiar. Collazo does do a good job directing, but it is pretty easy to tell that this is his first film. Maybe it's because of the film's small budget, but there's a couple of things that he tries as a director that don't work as well as I would have liked. Though as a whole, I had a great time with Brittany Runs a Marathon. It's the kind of feel-good, crowd-pleasing indie film that I love seeing. It's charming, smart, and heartwarming. It's the kind of movie that I have no problem recommending. I'm going to give Brittany Runs a Marathon 4 out of 5 stars. Until next time, I'm Nate Richard.
Wow.
She means thank you, Nate. Abby's just being a little difficult today.
No, I mean, wow.
Was that the most you've talked all day?
No.
People looking for you.
Go faster!
Whoa! You can do magic? This is amazing!
This is impossible!
I wish Dad were here to see this.
You can go your own way. Yeah, Ma. Beijing is great. Oh, Peng is, Peng's fine.
They're gaining on us!
Was this your dad's violin?
My dad used to play for me every night. Like he was telling me that no matter how hard the journey gets, never give up. It's beautiful.
You did that, Yi?
I did that?
When Yi sets her mind on something.
White race overthrown. Cool.
You're gonna pitch me the next 9/11.
What about this guy Moses Shabazz?
Classic lone wolf.
There's 4 of them, actually.
Duckwall. Pack of lone wolves. Had to happen. My mission is to change the lives of poor people without the gun weapon.
Let's offer this Moses Shabazz some funds.
He could set up a meeting with a rich ISIL sheikh.
Perhaps your army needs weapons?
No. We don't believe in guns. If necessary, we'll call on the dinosaurs. At the sound of a trumpet, they will come to our aid.
I think he's delusional.
Yeah, schizophrenia plays.
You being played, Mo.
What if I'm playing them? Whoever it is is playing them.
Please. I'm Judy.
I'm very sorry, but your suite has been released.
What do you mean, released? Where exactly is it gone?
Your account was in arrears.
Clang, clang, clang with the trolley.
Mama, please don't go to sleep now.
No. These are the other ones.
Sing, sing, sing.
The kids need a home, Judy.
I know what kids need. They need their mother.
Can't have the world's greatest entertainer out here without his Frank.
Frank Sinatra's here?
Frank is great, but he is no Judy Garland.
I don't have a home. I can't even get a manager.
London would offer you a lot of money.
Talk of the town is desperate to do a deal with you.
You're saying I have to leave my children if I want to make enough money to be with my children?
So, how about those Emmys?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thrilling episode. Thank you, Abby. Thank you.
No.
Free Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets.
Where? Oh. Never.
Just trying to get you to emote from the one thing you care about in this world.
Spot on. Chicken nugs good.
Yes, they are.
Chicken.
Okay, Tiara, care to help me out with your amazing segment? Tiara?
This past weekend saw the airing of the 71st Primetime Emmy Awards, and I have the highlights for you all here right now. At the top of the show, just like the Oscars, the Emmys were hostless this year, as they have been for the last few shows, and I think most award shows should just go like this from now on, because this led to this show feeling way less bloated by some third-rate comedian who was an A-lister in 2010. I mean, Kevin Hart. I mean, Ricky Gervais. They did try to do this introduction of the show without host, and that was kind of odd, but the show was pretty much smooth sailing from there. The shows that received the most amount of nominations were Game of Thrones, When They See Us, and Barry, with HBO receiving the most amount of nominations for a network this year. Speaking of Game of Thrones, after a fairly lackluster final season, it received a farewell tribute that was kind of cute. That was kind of a cute way of reminding us that the first 3 seasons of Game of Thrones were really, really good. It also took home Best Drama Series, and Peter Dinklage took home the award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series. Some other winners included Alex Borstein for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Billy Porter took home the award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series for Pose. And 21-year-old Jarrell Jerome took home the award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Limited Series or Movie for Netflix's When They See Us, making him the youngest lead actor to win in the category. He was nominated alongside Moonlight co-star Mahershala Ali, who gave him a standing ovation during his speech, making for a very sweet moment. Michelle Williams took home Amy Adams' Emmy for FX's Fosse's Verdon. And finally, Amazon Prime Video's Fleabag took home the most awards at the end of the night. Fleabag won for Outstanding Comedy Series, Outstanding Directing for a Comedy Series, Outstanding Writing for a Comedy Series, and actress Phoebe Waller-Bridge took home the award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series. Overall, it was a great night with beautiful fashion and speeches, all while celebrating great television. What could be better than that? I'm Tiara Spells, Amy Adams, I'm still rooting for you, and that's all for me this week.
Wow, thank you, Tiara. That was such a great job. I can't believe how well written and spoken that was.
So you're talking now?
Yeah, I was just saving my voice for the final word. I'm sick this week.
So you're not mad at me?
No, but why do you care?
Oh, I mean, no reason. It's not like I just thought we were friends and I just wanted you to like me.
Okay, how many times do I have to tell you this? Just because we're co-hosts doesn't mean we're friends. So.
You mean leave Downton? Downton Abbey's the heart of this community, and you're keeping it beating.
Remember to pray for us.
I'll put in a word.
Your Majesties, welcome to Downton
Recall
Abbey.
how we used to watch black and white movies together, and musicals were your favorite. I remember you tutoring me in math. You instilled in me a strong work ethic. You should know I've chosen a career that you would approve of. I've dedicated my life to the exploration of space. And I thank you for that.
I want revenge.
Ride till I can't no more.
I want them to know that death is coming. And there's nothing they can do to stop it.
September 22nd, 2019 marked the 25th anniversary of Friends. That's right, the series went on air for the very first time on September 22nd, 1994. The series lasted 10 years, and it's no wonder that it had such an impact on so many people, including myself. Today I want to talk about the show and all the reasons it was just so great. There's no denying the humor of the show, which is the first reason it was so loved. Each character had a different way of making the viewers laugh. The show is a great show to put on after a long day to feel better, maybe even when you're sick. The second reason is the vastly different and quirky characters. Each character was so different in so many ways, yet each of them had entertaining qualities. The entertainment factor didn't take away from the relatability, though. A lot of the shows about a group of friends that came after lacked this quality, in my opinion. Each of them had one outlier, and the rest of the characters are just kind of, well, boring. And the outliers' entertaining quirks aren't usually all that relatable at all. Friends had 6 characters that showcased 6 different extreme characteristics, but all of them seemed fairly normal for the most part, and none of them were that hard to believe. A third reason had to be the powerful friendship. I'll watch the show even now and think of my friends, the way they stand up for each other no matter what, the way they incessantly pick on each other, the way they come to each other to comfort each other all the time, the way they share way too much with each other. I watch it and I remember how lucky I am to have the friends that I do. Even when I was little, I would look at Monica and Rachel and think, that's real friendship that I want. Finally, people still love it. That may not seem like a reason it was so great, but this is one of those shows from earlier generations that people can't get enough of. Last year, when Netflix planned to take it off of the streaming site, people went crazy. A ton of money was spent by Netflix to keep it on. That wouldn't happen with just any show. This show translates through time just the same, and it is still a crowd favorite 25 years later. It may seem weird that people our age love a 90s/early 2000s show so much, but I think most of the younger generations that love it have their own reasons. It's trendy, it was recommended on Netflix, their friends really like it, etc., etc. For me, the reason lies in my childhood. This show would be on when my TV would all sit in the living room together. This show would come on when my sisters came home from school and I wanted to hang out with them. The show would be on late at night when my sister and I that shared a room would stay up past our bedtime. These moments in my life seemed small at the time, but they're huge when I look back now, and this show was on for all of them. It may seem cheesy to be so impacted by a show, but I can imagine several people can make the same connections, given the fact that the 25th anniversary of Friends was such a big deal. New shows will come and go, all trying to mimic the hit series. Some of them will leave impressionable marks, much like How I Met Your Mother, and some of them will not even compare. Even shows that came before it didn't quite meet the threshold, in my opinion. This show is one that's hard to beat. It really is something special. So, happy 25th anniversary, Friends.
Aww. Happy 25th anniversary, Friends. In a different in the opposite end of the spectrum, Breaking Bad ended way back in 2013. We've all grown so much since then. Maybe not mentally, but there's one thing that hasn't changed since then. Everybody's need for more Breaking Bad. It's one of the best shows of our time, and creator Vince Gilligan knows it because he's been drip feeding us spin-off shows like the addicting Better Call Saul, and more importantly, rumors around a Breaking Bad movie to tie everything into a neat little bow. As a massive fan of the series, I can finally say it's almost here. It's finally done with production, and Netflix has been dropping teaser trailer after teasing trailer recently, keeping a tight lip until its release on October 11th. So far, the trailers haven't shown much of anything. All we know is the logline. In the wake of his dramatic escape from captivity, Jesse must come to terms with his past in order to forge some kind of future. So we know pretty much nothing. The Breaking Bad movie, titled El Camino, or The Road for everybody that didn't take a semester of Spanish, primarily features Aaron Paul as Jesse. But Vince Gilligan has teased that almost a dozen characters will be returning. Then recently, on the Emmys red carpet, a couple nights ago, Jonathan Banks, who plays our favorite old man, Mike Ehrmantraut, revealed that he would be one of those returning characters in El Camino. Now, fans of the series will remember that he's straight up dead. Spoilers, by the way. As is almost every single notable character in Breaking Bad. Fans speculate that El Camino is going to have a heavy focus on flashbacks in order to feature so many returning characters. Or Vince Gilligan went off the deep end to throw in a zombie apocalypse to the Breaking Bad movie. Who knows? Besides that, we don't know anything about El Camino. And honestly, I kind of like it that way. No plot gets spoiled for us, or any twists get revealed in the promotion. With that and a really close release date from when the first teaser drops, it seems like Netflix is knowing exactly what to do to hype up El Camino, not that we need it or anything. After Breaking Bad's amazing finale, the spin-off show, Better Call Saul, has been just as good, if not better at times. I personally can only pray that Bob Odenkirk shows up as Saul Goodman in this movie, but I don't see any reason why he wouldn't. given that Better Call Saul has been one of the highest rating shows since Breaking Bad ended. Vince Gilligan has only gotten better after Breaking Bad ended. He's had more than enough time to craft the perfect ending to Jesse's story. At this point, my only concern is Netflix's servers when every person and their mother start streaming El Camino at the same time on October 11th.
Well, that's it for our short but sweet episode. But if you want more from us here at The Real Deal, you can check out our Facebook, Twitter, and website for all things entertainment. I'm your host, Abby Perry.
And I'm Parker Carlson. See you next time on The Real Deal.